one day I hope that it's so common that that's not the headline, you know what I mean, that this bisexual Black woman.
Yeah.
What if you wrote the soundtrack to millions of lives, but no one knew your name? She wrote hits for Ariana Grande, Chloe X Holly, and Brandy, songs that dominated charts and defined eras. But here's what they don't tell you. While the world sang her words, Victoria Mone was invisible. She spent a decade crafting everyone else's dreams before finally saying enough.
I definitely don't like watching my work in front of other people. Like if I were at a party or something and someone put on my music video, I'm usually the one to be like, cringe.
And when she stepped into the spotlight, she didn't just arrive, she conquered. This is the story of how patience, heartbreak, and a baby girl turned a hidden genius into music's most undeniable force.
I want that jungle kind of love.
May 1st, 1989, Atlanta, Georgia. That's when Victoria Mone McCants came into the world, though she'd spend most of her formative years in Sacramento, California. From the beginning, music wasn't just a hobby, it was survival. She grew up watching her mother struggle, watching dreams deferred, watching what happens when talent meets reality without opportunity. Victoria decided early, she wouldn't just be talented, she'd be undeniable. At 13, she was already writing songs, pouring her heart into melodies that captured emotions she was too young to fully understand, but felt deeply nonetheless.
I do feel like if anybody's hard on me, it's me.
By her late teens, she'd made the move that countless aspiring artists make. She headed to Los Angeles. No safety net, no guaranteed success, just raw talent and relentless determination. The breakthrough came through songwriting. In 2010, Victoria began working as a songwriter and backing vocalist, slowly building a reputation in the industry. But the real turning point came when she connected with Ariana Grande.
It honestly feels like a soulmate type of match musically.
The two became frequent collaborators and close friends, with Victoria co-writing some of Ariana's biggest hits. She co-wrote 7 Rings, one of the biggest songs of 2019. She penned Thank You Next, the cultural phenomenon that had the entire world singing along. She crafted NASA, Monopoly, and countless other tracks that defined Ariana's sound. Victoria's pen was golden. Everything she touched turned into hits. But here's the cruel irony. Most people had no idea who she was. That's the life of a songwriter. You create the magic, but someone else becomes the magician. You pour your soul into melodies that millions will sing, but your name stays in the fine print. For years, Victoria accepted this reality. She was grateful for the work, grateful for the opportunities, grateful to be making a living doing what she loved. But gratitude doesn't erase the ache of wanting more. In 2014, she released her first EP, Nightmares and Lullabies, Act 1. It was a quiet introduction, a whisper in an industry that demands screams. Critics who heard it recognized her talent, but the project didn't break through commercially. She followed it with Nightmares and Lullabies Act 2 in 2015, continuing to develop her sound, her voice, her vision.
Maybe, baby, I do.
Still, the world wasn't paying attention, so she kept writing for other people. The checks cleared, the credits accumulated, and Victoria Mone remained one of music's best-kept secrets. She worked with Fifth Harmony, Chloe X Halle, Brandy, T.I., and more. Every collaboration added to her legend within the industry, but outside those circles, silence. Then came a shift. On February 21st, 2021, Victoria gave birth to her daughter, Hazel. The father is fitness trainer and model John Gaines, though the two have kept their relationship relatively private, focusing public attention on co-parenting rather than relationship drama. Hazel's arrival changed everything, not just Victoria's priorities, but her entire perspective on her career and her life.
It definitely also changes your priorities on how you spend your time, and also the consideration for the other parent, consideration for the child.
Motherhood has a way of clarifying what matters. Victoria looked at her daughter and realized she didn't want Hazel growing up, watching her mother create magic for everyone except herself.
Yes, well, I'm raising a daughter who also wants to be a superstar. So I feel like it makes my every movement that I make even more important.
She didn't want to tell her daughter to dream big while playing small. Something had to change. In 2020, just before Hazel's birth, Victoria released Jaguar, an EP that showcased her full artistry, sensual, sophisticated, unapologetically grown. The project was a statement. I'm not just a songwriter, I'm an artist. Songs like Ass Like That
You wanna know how she get that ass like that ass like
and Experience
I'm hoping that experience get you to change.
were mature, sexy, confident. This wasn't radio-friendly pop. This was R&B for adults who weren't afraid of their own desire. But the real earthquake came in 2023. Victoria released Jaguar 2, and suddenly, the industry couldn't ignore her anymore.
I just had an album release party because I just released a Jaguar 2 Deluxe. Go stream, shameless plug.
The album was a masterclass in modern R&B, smooth, seductive, expertly crafted. Lead single On My Mama became a viral sensation, with its infectious hook and celebratory energy capturing something the culture needed.
That all my mama, all my good, I look fly, I look.
My mom was in the video. My daughter's in this section of the video. It feels like a really core family memory that we'll have forever.
The song blew up on TikTok, on radio, everywhere. People who'd never heard of Victoria Mone were suddenly searching for everything she'd ever released. The woman who'd spent over a decade in the shadows was finally standing in the light, and she was radiant.
Then came the Grammy nominations, 7 total, including Best New Artist, Record of the Year, and Album of the Year. 7 nominations for a woman the mainstream had barely acknowledged a year earlier. It felt like vindication, like the universe finally correcting a cosmic error. But here's what made it even more special. Victoria won 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist.
And the Grammy goes to Victoria Mone!
Let that sink in.
Pre-rolls in the back, who should I shotgun? Yeah.
A 34-year-old mother who'd been working professionally in music for over a decade won Best New Artist. Some questioned whether she qualified for the category, but the Recording Academy deemed her eligible because she'd never had a major commercial breakthrough as a lead artist before Jaguar 2.
And so what you're hearing when you hear Jaguar 2 is just really genuine fun and things that we actually like personally.
The win sparked debates about what new means, but Victoria didn't care about the semantics. She'd finally received the recognition she'd earned. At the Grammy Awards ceremony in February 2024, Victoria delivered a stunning performance and gave an emotional acceptance speech, thanking her daughter, her team, and everyone who'd believed in her when the world didn't. She brought Hazel on stage with her, showing the little girl what perseverance looks like.
You want mama? Hi, pretty. Hi, pretty. Hi, baby.
It was one of the night's most powerful moments, but the journey to that stage wasn't without its controversies and challenges. Victoria has been open about her bisexuality, and she's faced criticism from conservative corners for being unapologetically queer in her artistry and personal life.
Underdogs as a woman, underdog as a bisexual woman, underdog as a black woman or woman of color. Like, there's just so many layers, and so I just want to make sure that we are represented, and I'm fighting for that really, really hard.
What's up, New York?
Some have accused her of being too sexual in her music, as if grown women aren't allowed to express desire. She's pushed back against these criticisms, refusing to sanitize herself for comfort.
I couldn't hold it any longer, and I think that's just a part of being authentic and true to ourselves.
There's also been tension around her long tenure as a behind-the-scenes writer before breaking through as an artist.
So I was happy to do so. I don't think I ever had a bitter moment where I was like, ugh, because that's a part of my story as well, being able to translate what someone wants to say into song form.
Some critics have suggested she was too old to be winning Best New Artist, or that her success was somehow manufactured because of her industry connections. Victoria has addressed these claims head-on, pointing out the double standard. Male artists can have long careers before breaking through without facing the same scrutiny. Her relationship with John Gaines has remained mostly private, though they occasionally share glimpses of their co-parenting journey on social media. They've faced speculation about whether they're together romantically or just friendly exes, but both have maintained that their priority is Hazel's well-being, and the details of their relationship are nobody's business. Victoria has also been candid about the challenges of being a touring mother.
I think as a working mom, there's a lot of mom guilt that goes into stepping out the door without your children at any given point.
In interviews, she's discussed the guilt of leaving Hazel, the logistics of pumping breast milk backstage, the exhaustion of being both an artist and a parent. She's become a voice for mothers in the industry, advocating for better accommodations and understanding that women shouldn't have to choose between their careers and their children.
I wanted to create a safe space and a conversation between parents and their children to really understand.
One controversy that made headlines involved allegations that some of her Grammy wins were influenced by her close relationship with Ariana Grande and other industry heavyweights. Victoria fired back, noting the irony. When she was writing hits for others, nobody questioned whether she deserved credit. Now that she's succeeding on her own, suddenly her talent is suspect. The double standard was glaring. She's also faced criticism from some quarters of the Black community about her music being too white or not Black enough. Critiques she's rejected as reductive and harmful. Victoria has been clear. Black women contain multitudes. R&B contains multitudes. She's not interested in fitting into narrow definitions of what Black music or Black womanhood should sound like. Currently, Victoria is riding the wave of her Grammy success while working on new music.
Out of all the world, you and I align.
She's been teasing a follow-up to Jaguar 2, hinting that she's experimenting with different sounds while staying true to the sensual, sophisticated R&B that's become her signature. She's also been performing at major festivals and venues, finally getting to headline shows after years of being relegated to backing vocalist status. In 2024 and 2025, she's expanded her touring, bringing her music to international audiences who are hungry to see the woman behind the songs they've loved for years.
Can't forget about the party girls, lighting up the world.
She's also been vocal about wanting to direct and produce, following in the footsteps of artists like Missy Elliott and Janelle Mone, who've built multimedia empires. Victoria's been involved in several creative collaborations beyond music. She's worked with fashion brands, appeared in campaigns, and used her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, particularly for queer people of color. She's been outspoken about the need for more representation and less respectability politics within the Black community. As of 2025, Victoria Mone's net worth is estimated at approximately $3 million. It's a figure that reflects her years of songwriting royalties, her recent artist success, and her various business ventures. While it might seem modest compared to some pop stars, it represents financial independence that Victoria built herself, brick by brick, song by song, year by year. The money conversation brings up another point Victoria has addressed: songwriter compensation. She's been vocal about how streaming has decimated songwriter income, making it nearly impossible to build wealth solely from writing. Her success as an artist has given her a platform to advocate for better pay structures and fairer treatment of the people who create the songs the world loves. Looking ahead, Victoria has hinted at wanting to write and produce for other artists again, but on her own terms. She's talked about starting a label or production company to help develop emerging talent, particularly women and queer artists who face the same obstacles she overcame. She wants to be the person she needed when she was starting out. There's also been talk of a documentary about her journey, chronicling the years of writing in obscurity and the sudden explosion of recognition. It would be a powerful story, proof that success doesn't always look like we expect, that sometimes the longest path leads to the most meaningful destination. Victoria's relationship with Hazel remains central to everything she does. She said repeatedly that her daughter is her greatest inspiration, the reason she finally demanded to be seen, the motivation behind every risk she's taken. In a world that often forces women to choose between motherhood and ambition, Victoria is proof that you can have both, that your children can witness your evolution and be part of your triumph.
With my career, I'm not able to be there as much as I would love to. And so I wrote a book called Everywhere You Are, which is kind of a conversation between a moon and a star.
The woman who spent over a decade making other artists famous finally got her flowers.
And the Grammy goes to Victoria Mone!
But here's what makes Victoria Monet's story so powerful. She didn't wait for permission. She didn't wait for the industry to discover her. She created art so undeniable that the world had no choice but to pay attention. She wrote her own hits, sung her own songs, told her own story.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the Champagne Surfers of tonight. That's my first thank you. Thank you to the Recording Academy voting members.
From Atlanta to Sacramento to Los Angeles, from backing vocalist to Grammy winner, from invisible songwriter to unavoidable star, Victoria Monet proved that talent delayed is not talent denied. She proved that your time will come if you refuse to quit. She proved that the same hands that write magic for others can create miracles for yourself. And maybe that's the lesson here. Not that success comes to those who wait, but that success comes to those who refuse to stay hidden. Victoria Monet didn't just step into the spotlight. She claimed it, owned it, transformed it. After years of making everyone else shine, she finally let herself be luminous, and the world has never looked brighter.